Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. I am just going to do, I hope, what will be a quick video. And it's evening here. It's almost 9 o'clock, and it's been raining for about 24 hours. So I've got all kinds of lights here. I hope that this will be adequate for tonight. Okay, those of you who are watching my Get Her Done, hashtag Get Her Done playlist, know that at the end of a project, I draw for another one. So if you saw that video, it was the part 3 of the Purple Teal Journal. You know that I picked trees. So I was tickled pink, because I believed that I could find, oh God, that I could find the thrifted painting, thrifted art canvas that I paid 50 cents for and showed you guys in a thrift haul video because I thought that there was enough surface there to do sort of a normal journal and a tall skinny. Well, ever since I taped that, I have been turning the house over, trying to find the very safe and secure place that I stashed that canvas. I am so ticked off at myself. Unless you've done a similar thing, you probably don't understand what I'm feeling. But anyway, I thought, enough is enough. I'd better start doing something. I'm hoping that by the time I get some of the other jobs done with the journals, and I'm sure there will be at least 2, maybe somehow they'll show up, or I will, whatever. So there won't be terribly much action here tonight other than showing you kind of what I have located. I told you that I had a bin that I've been throwing things into probably for 2 years now, as well as I've spent the last few hours kind of, looking around the studio. So I found some rubber stamps that I'd like to use. I remembered things like these, which it says trees indoor and trees outdoor, and of course there's way too many cards for that, but it was one of those things. Who made this, by the way? Oh, Tree Communications. There you have it. 1978. Okay, so this is one of those collector type things. We're used to seeing them with recipes. Well, I have a similar one, and I think it's a sort of a double wide container. So picture 2 rows of these, plumb full, water plants, house plants, all that. So I remembered this and I found them. Great. I'll show you some of the other things that I have assembled, and things that need some work, things that still need to be found. Case in point. Now, I have the Tim Holtz dies that cut those, those sort of tattered, I don't know what it's called. I didn't look for it just now, but sort of tattered leaves, typical leaves with curled up sides and holes in them and so on. So I had paper like this, and I had done this some time ago. Now, a normal person would have thrown this away, but of course, not normal, didn't throw it away. So this is a reminder. Well, I'm thinking part of what I'm going to do is a masterboard. So these sorts of scraps, will probably find their way into that. But it also is a reminder to me that I need to find the dies that I cut. Now, because I keep rearranging and keep improving my setup, that's kind of a challenge. Like, okay, so where's the last place I put die cuts? So anyway, so that's part of the issue here. So these are just some random book pages. Now I've kind of tried to separate things into normal. By that I mean sort of, an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And then pages for sort of the opposite of that, which is the tall skinny. So I have just a couple of pages like this. Now, more not isolated to trees. Some, wait, what do you call them? Botanic? No, what is the word? For the, the Latin name for varieties of, so these are all trees. So I guess this could go either way. Tall, skinny, or then I've got, a page like this that I ripped out of something, obviously. I have some 6x6 paper that, is foliage related. So we'll see what happens with that. A couple of landscapes out of, a how-to painting book. Now this came out of, what did this come out of? Anyway, I kind of folded it back. I kept the whole signature, but obviously the pages I'm interested in are these, The Life of a Tree. Like, isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it's all black and white, but still. Roots. This is a white pine, 150 feet. So those kinds of factoids make for, so I have to see how I'm going to manage that. This came from somewhere, and I don't know whether it's visible to you or not, but it's sort of almost like a watermark of forest trees. So it would have been pages out of a journal of some sort. So, that could be used to back something. This. These came out of some sort of a French book. Got some stray butterflies there, but these pages are all trees. So, anything like that or this would have to be hinged. A couple of these that came out of one of those books where you sort of answer questions, and so got a couple of those. Now you can see that there are, let me just kind of rearrange this so it's not quite so unwieldy. A fair number of styles going on. So something really kind of vintagey like this, something folk artsy like this. Now this is really quite classy. Now it's just letterhead that I just folded in half, and it's got these lovely skeleton leaf type motifs on there. So there's several of those. So, again, I'm not terribly opposed to white paper, but maybe this is something that ends up getting just spritzed with some coffee dye or something, or maybe it, the backside gets stamped or whatever. I have some of this lovely paper that looks like, it's very soft and delicate. Now, I don't know if I tore these in half or if this is the size they were. But it's, like an eco print. So several of those. I have this stamp, and I obviously had done this at some point on a gessoed book page. That's an Edith Holden thing. That's part of one of my digitals. So it's just a pocket. What have we got here? Oh, just some blank things for backing something. This is one of those crazy envelopes. I think it was Natasha at Treasure Books that had, done a video about this. So, of course, I made a gazillion of these. I think this was about the only one that I felt would work in a tree journal. This is something that I obviously covered an envelope with this, and so it's got a tree. So I'm just, kind of throwing everything at, including the kitchen sink at this, with the intention of obviously seeing how far the stuff goes and what more might be needed. These were coffee dyed leaves, tree, wild foliage, another tree. So coloring book pages. Now I looked through all my wrapping paper, gift wrap, and this was the only one that I thought kind of had, leave well enough alone, that had, anything really appropriate that I could use. So I have to figure out what to do with this. Will it be part of a collage? Will I try to salvage enough pieces that are not creased in weird places to do a couple of signatures, or do I, sew around it and make a top-loading pocket or something? So that remains to be seen. This is the size this paper was. It was a pad of this stuff that looks like, somebody crunched up some paper. Luckily I found where I put all my wallpaper borders that I had flattened out and, at some point. So this would work. So I picked a couple of those. This is another one that would work. And of course, the beauty of using wallpaper is that it tends to be fairly resilient and tough. Sometimes it is hard to flatten it out, but I'm really happy with how this looks. And obviously there would be enough there to turn back and create a couple pockets. This is just packing stuff that I obviously at some point flattened out and folded. Kind of, again, trees going with a green theme, so I'm not even sure what this is, but I obviously reinforced the edge of a couple of sheets of this with paper tape of some sort. Oh, I bought a couple of, maybe a year or so ago, bought a couple of thrifted, what would they be? I guess placemats. So I cut around them, and then, so I put two together. I must have glued this one to that one, and then sewed around it to create a pocket. Now, in hindsight, I guess if I were doing this now, I would probably maybe glue the leaves, the fabric, to cardstock or paper, just to give it a little more body. And then on the other side, did a single leaf and just sewed around it. I'm surprised there's only one of those, but who knows? Maybe I just haven't located it. Have something like this that I obviously hinged. I don't know where this came from, but again, leafy. Only found two of those. This was some sort of, I guess, scrapbooking paper. This is, did I intend that as a tuck? Apparently so. This is part of one of my gel prints, and I just love it. So that is there. This came out of some sort of a poetry book, and there were quite a few tree motifs. So probably use some of those. And I've had these sheets of mulberry paper. I think I cut this down to 11 by, yeah, pretty well a normal size paper, letter size paper. Cut down some of the big sheets of this stuff into manageable sizes, and I'd better start using it, because my goodness, if we were celebrating, you know how one dog year is equal to 7 human years. Well, I don't know what the conversion is for paper, like what are paper years worth, but this is old. I've had it a long, long time. I also, because again, I've been trying to touch everything I own and find that damn canvas. I also looked through the filing cabinet, and these were end papers from some book that I got it at some point. So that will work its way into the book. This is a package or a partial package of sort of just stationery type paper, I guess. And whether you can, I hope you can see a faded out area of birch trees or poplars, I guess, and the darker border. So, and surprisingly enough, I didn't pre-fold these, so these could go in a tall skinny as well. I found this, which I thought was really, just generic. It's got a small grid, and it's got columns, so I could use, I got a whole slug of those. This is sort of got a bluey decorative border around, so I'm sure I have way more here than I could actually use, but better too much and make your selections than be scrambling and having to dig through everything again. So I'll just set this aside. Oh, okay, I can show you a few more things. Oops. Okay, now these, I took apart this book, who knows when, who knows what it was. It's got kind of, inspirational type sayings. It's got trees, and it's got these goofy animals. So tree, goofy animal, tree, goofy animal. So I don't know how I'm going to handle that. I don't know if I necessarily want those animals. And of course, these trees are, funky colors. So, again, we'll see what materializes out of that. What is this? Oh, maybe this came out of this same book. So that could be backing paper. Don't ask me what I was doing here. Maybe I was I don't know what I was doing here. Clearly, whatever, the glue didn't hold very well. So we'll see about that. Needs some repair, if nothing else. Now this, I guess I took the coil out of this. This is a very nice little book. I don't remember where or when I got it. And I think I do have some subscribers. I have at least, is it Joe? Joe, are you from New Zealand, is it? So these are, obviously these trees are foreign to me, but are they not nice? Like, look at those pages. So, oodles of things to choose from here. Now, this was something, I must have been, again, gessoed book pages. I must have been playing around with some of my small leaf stamps. So, I don't know what I'll do with this, but, I better use it. Now these, I love these book pages, and this is just some of them. This pile represents the ones that only have images on one side. So I don't know if I just fold this up and, kind of reinforce it and make it a pocket. Yeah, even if a person trimmed close to that decorative border, it would still be too wide. I'm going to have to ponder that a bit. I was also thinking that I could fussy cut those ovals and do something with them. I have, many pages, And this only represents the ones, like I said, that do not have anything important on, well, I suppose the information is good, on the other side. Now, if you're watching this and think, I know what she should do, I know, pick me, pick me. By all means, offer your suggestions in the comments, because clearly I can't do everything at once. So there is definitely time for you to watch the video, write the comment, me to read it and think, yes, that is brilliant. I'm going to do that. They are so gorgeous. Now, the other thing I considered, I guess I put away the pages that are double-sided. But of course, when I hold those up to the light, the oval on this side does not line up with the oval on the other side. Because I thought, oh, if I cut it out, I have a little two-sided thing. Now, if these are perfect, I could back the two of them together and, you know, use them as dangles or something. So, again, waiting to hear your ideas, guys. This, beautiful. What is this? Oh, so some of these things, you can see that I've already cannibalized this a bit. But like I said, I may do a, what do you call it? Masterboard. So a lot of these images can probably find their way onto that. Forests. These are some, oh, see, and I didn't look for any other stickers or, what do you call those? Little, well, little vellum stickers, or what the heck is this? This is one of those Temu type purchases. Half the time it doesn't make any, the words don't make any sense. You know, but again, maybe there are trees in here. You know, there are certainly these sorts of things that could decorate a page. Do you see how when I grab a theme, I just beat it to death? Oh, Lord. Okay, so now these are quite lovely too. Now these came out of a thrifted, they're getting caught on each other, out of a thrifted planner. And some of them, look, 2013. Some of them are blank, so no problemo. Oh, Audubon engagement calendar. But then others are crammed full of what? Weather and you name it. So I don't think I really want that. So these things might end up just being, you know, part of a collage or something. I don't know yet. But you can see how much work I have. And to be honest, I don't know, again, because I was all over the place looking, disturbing piles and baskets, and I came across all these big book pages, and they are big. 9.5 by 11.5. And these represent the ones that have, you know, good tree stuff. So, you know, something like this that is good on both sides, you know, maybe just becomes a page in the tall skinny. Some I may choose to make envelopes out of. I want a Siberian large. I don't know what you have where you live, but these are well, no, can I say that they're deciduous? I don't know what category they fall in. They look like a spruce, but yet they shed their needles. So I guess that does make them deciduous. But look at some of these. You know, so there's lots to work with here. Again, well, not that bird. So again, have to ponder what to do there. You thought I was done. Ha. A little book like this, a golden book, Trees, 1969. Well, originally 1952, I guess. So, you know, those old-fashioned sort of simple illustrations. Nice part is that, you know, the description is on the same page. We'll see if I need to use any of those. I should show you that somewhere sometime in the past, I took apart a book, and is it 2 pages? Or is it just folded? I don't know. I mean, it's so long ago, I don't know. Oh, you know what? It's just folded because there's part of the P in Ponderosa. So I sewed around, like there are millions here. I sewed around them. So are they not the best little journaling cards? Because number one, they give you some information. And number two, there's some room to write. And number three, if I wanted to, I could add something more to them. Or they are perfectly adequate just as they are. And then these obviously came out of another guide, and I guess I backed them and inked them. I was just very efficient at that point. Looks like I did some lousy, oh my goodness, must have had a problem with them. Oh dear, that's probably why the others aren't sewn. Anyway, but nothing seems to be lifting. But I guess I could sew around those as well. So I have stuff like that done. No, I just took the staples out of this a while ago. This is, well, kind of got a bit of a gloss to it, but it also looks and feels like canvas, you know, as though it had been painted or something. Obviously, they're just photographs, but again, this kind of smells. I should put some dryer sheets in there. This would be good in a pinch if I still need pages, which I probably don't. Now you can see that I've got a leaf punch, and obviously at some point punched a bunch of these out of these kind of muted green papers. So I need to locate those cutouts, punch outs. I do have a little drawer with those, so that should be easy. Again, a reminder, keep looking. These are greeting cards, Nature Conservancy Canada, watercolor trees. So I think I have 2 sets of these. So I can do something with those. Love this one that looks like stained glass. Maybe it is. I don't know. It doesn't say. This, I think, was from the Alzheimer's Association or Society. This matches that stationery that I showed you earlier. So there are things like that. Here are some more odds and ends of, you know, oh, that's probably the little tree book I took apart. So more pages that could be, you know, fussy cut or mounted or hinged or you name it. Cool little drawings like that. That came out of a feng shui book. You know, so a variety of things there. More, these look old too. American Beach. So, you know, if a person wanted the info to be available to the viewer, then I don't know what my plan was there, but we will see what materializes with that. Okay, I thought that I had found all my tree books, but I found these two. Now, they are both, I think, Walter Foster. You can just tell that they look as old as the hills. And look at. Now, these pages are obviously really big. So I would be thinking long and hard before I use them. But look at how lovely the printing is. Now, in the past, I've used pages like this to make, what do you call them, writing boards? Typically, they're not black. I wonder if there's a date on this. Both these books are essentially black and white, so you can just tell how old they are, though. In the past, I've used these sorts of oversized pages to cover a writing board, but they were more colorful. So this was $1, so that almost tells you something, doesn't it? Oh. I had a few of these. Apparently, can you see that when I deconstruct a book, I deconstruct a book? So this, I believe, would have been a book on floral arrangements. So what I did was I folded them all like this, either, I guess, with the intention of, I don't know if they'd be signature pages or, you know, glue them strategically and they become envelopes. Now, I looked through all of them and there really is nothing here that I wanted to use. But are some of these not just gorgeous? Look at that ticking. Wouldn't that be nice in a French, country French journal? Anyway, just showing you that in case you've got a book like that in your stash. Or look at some of these. Is this the one? Like, there is a place for this, someplace. Not in this journal, though. But you can see how finding these things and looking through them can take a lot of time in itself. And basically, I ended up not choosing a single one. I also picked this and kind of rejected it because I think the colors are maybe a bit wild for what I'm doing. Oh, let me show you this. I think I might have shown this. I bought a, let's see if I can maybe reconstruct. So these would have represented a page, or most of the page, in a wallpaper book, you know, vintage. But some of the pages also had water damage. And no, that doesn't match. Or does it? Oh, up here it does. So you can see, or maybe you can't. You can see how much I've either trimmed these down or had to because of water damage. So I've got all these little cutoffs that are not, you know, moldy or whatever, that can be used to make a pocket or whatever. or collage. Now these, I would hope that I would have made them, yeah, these are letter sized. So I can, well, if I wanted to keep the trees upright, which is the best way for a tree to be, I would have to use these in my tall skinny. But maybe these little bits and pieces could be used in the other one. Okay, and then I've clipped these pages together because, again, this is, whoops, not that. You know, this would lend itself to a tall skinny. I love these. They're out of a kid's book. Now, I was going to fussy cut around them. But of course, they would need reinforcement first. And then that could be a side tuck or a belly band or something. But I'm kind of learning from past mistakes. Don't fussy cut and then try to glue that down. Glue it down and then save one operation. This is, again, some of that stationery with some bamboo on the side there. I may use that. And these, I guess, were scrapbooking papers. And just for ease of storage, I folded them in half. So there's some possibilities there. A couple of old what is this? These are end papers again. Can you see that bird with his mouth full? This is a French, is it an art book? I don't even know what it is. I guess maybe the idea is, yes, here's what it looks like. Now you draw yours here. So it's all trees. I mean, well, leaves, branches, leaves. So those could easily become pages. That I've already shown you. And I'll just end off. I mean, you don't need to see rubber stamps because you've seen them before. And if I'm doing some of the stamping, I'll probably do a video with that because that's a good mindless kind of thing to do. I've told, if you've watched any of my haul videos or if you watch my what's in my bookcase, you know that I love the eyewitness books because they are simple and colorful and there's lots to see. And see, I've often wondered what quarter sawn oak is, and now I know. It says this method of sawing is complicated and rather wasteful, but it provides boards that have a distinctive grain and retain their shape well. So quarter. So I have, you know, some quarter sawn oak, occasional tables, I guess. So, but see how, you know, these lend themselves to, if I was nuts, I could fussy cut that. Ick about. You know, so it's instructional, it's colorful, it's vibrant. Where is the bugger that is ruining, killing our trees? I think it's a, what do you call it? Yellow flicker, if I'm not mistaken. Just row upon row upon row, the length of the trunk, the height of the trunk, of holes all the way around the trunk. Birth of a tree. So there's that one. Obviously haven't taken it apart. This one is, well, it says a fact-filled coloring book. So, you know, if I need pages, I can certainly refer to this as well. This is out of Time Life series, or encyclopedia, and this one is trees. So, I mean, I've shown these before in haul videos or in the bookcase series. So there are all these illustrations at the back of the book that lend themselves to, you know, being cut out and turned into journal cards or whatever. So I haven't touched this one because you can see I have a lot of other stuff. And typically there is a full page, beautiful illustration. Photos, blah, blah, blah. You've seen that all before. This was tucked into it, so I don't know if I obviously bought that used, so I don't know. Someone must have. Oh, 1968 Home Garden. So this was just a few pages that somebody obviously took out of a magazine. This is quite a beautiful book, and I am loath to cut into it. Sorry, The Guide to Trees of Canada and North America. I think this one would have been discussed in an earlier, what's in my bookcase. But look at, I mean, I don't think anyone would bother fussy cutting most of these things, but certainly a page like that would be lovely in a tree journal. So I think I'm going to stop there. Again, you know how it is when you misplace something. I will continue to persevere and try to find that canvas. I mean, if I have everything else done and still haven't located it, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it and figure out another cover idea. But at this point, I guess I'm going to be doing pages, signatures first, cover second, because I have no other choice. Anyway, thank you for joining me. If you haven't already done so and are enjoying the content, please subscribe, please like and comment. I will be waiting for your suggestions for the little oval black and white drawings and anything else you want to weigh in on. So have a great evening. Stay safe. Hope wherever you are is not ablaze like so much of the world seems to be. And yeah, keep on crafting. Thanks. Bye.